get started. Okay. My leg mat square. All right. Okay. Find your comfortable seat. Whatever that looks like, whatever position gets your back nice and tall. That's all we care about. And if you are a cross-legged person and you're always crossing to one side, switch sides, which is what I try to do all the time, because this leg doesn't like to do what this leg does. So trying to give it a little extra flexibility here. So you move your seat, you can find those sits bones, connect them with your mat or your blanket, and try thinking of the crown of your head connecting to the sky. Nice and tall, shoulders soft. Just enjoying being very present and being in your body. You make a nice big deep breath and let it out. And this time when you breathe in, feel it go all the way down to the bottom of your belly. Belly puffs out. And then let it out. Belly button comes up and in just naturally. You don't have to do anything. Do a couple more breaths like this, really letting the belly fill with air in a way that we normally don't. And we usually breathe up top. So let's do a couple of those. There's our breath. You can set an intention for this practice or for your day. And that can be anything. It does not have to be some profound thing. It can be, I really want to work my quads, right? Just what is your intention? Now when you're ready, just open your eyes and we will start with a nice little Sufi grind. Just using your body like it's a spoon stirring a pot. I'm going to keep our hips on the ground, right? Keep them nice and planted as we move. Now I have to admit mine come up a little bit. Feels good, but just try to keep them back. You come forward, heart shines forward. When you go back, belly button comes to the spine, head drops, exhaling. And inhale, bring all that beautiful air into your chest and into your belly. Exhale, let energy go from the bottom of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. One more. And now let's go the opposite direction, right? Whatever you were doing before. So nice broad chest. You can take your torso all the way down. I am very sore because I've been doing a lot of working out and that feels good. All right, one more. And then back to center. Inhale your arms up. Take a tiny little back bend, just your upper back. Exhale, hands to heart center, prayer position. Take a moment to honor yourself for being right here, right? Good job. All right, let's get started. So go ahead and move your blanket out of the way. If you have a knee, any kind of knee issues, or you have bony knees like me, having some cushion under your knees, very nice. So here we go. We're going to start with a couple cat-cows. So spread your fingers wide, put your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and think of someone pulling your tailbone in one direction and the crown of your head in another, right? So somebody's doing it gently, just giving you that space between your vertebrae. And as you inhale, drop the belly, but really think of that chest, the heart shining forward. That's where the work is going to be. And as you let your breath out, belly button to the spine, rounding everything, dropping the head. And really think of rounding through your low back. Making a rainbow, here we go. Let the heart lead this, right? So, shining forward. Exhale, belly button to the spine, round, 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 and drop the head. And curl those toes under and lift the knees just a couple inches off the ground. Start getting a little heat building. And raise your hips to the sky, maybe where the wall and the ceiling meet behind you. Excuse me. Triceps rolling up and under, belly button coming in, feeling that nice V shape. Your knees can be totally bent, they can be slightly bent. You could have your heels on the ground or not. Anyone is fine. Head comes between the biceps. Inhale. Come on out to a plank position. You might need to reposition your feet like I always do. Spread the fingertips wide. Inhale, nice long body, really pulling up and out of those shoulders, core tightening. Exhale, drop your knees. And let's go to the floor. Take those elbows in tight, 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 all the way down. Taking one full breath here. And the next inhale, pick up your chest. Head still looking down, right? Your gaze is at the mat. You want to lift those hands. Really working that back. You can probably feel it in your middle back pretty well. And exhale. Hands to the mat, pushing up in one position from, or one straight line, the crown of your head to your knees. So you can hear your hips are kind of down. And curl those toes under. Lift them back to down dog again. One nice long line of energy. Crown of head to the tailbone, rounding the tailbone down. You're going to walk to the front of the mat. So if you need to move your blanket, if you have one, go ahead and move that. Walk yourself to the front of the mat. Bending over deeply. Ooh, that feels nice. Palms to shins or palms to thighs. Half lift. Teacup on the back of the neck. Right again. Moving in opposition. Crown of the head away from the tailbone. How much space can you put between your vertebrae? Exhale. Fold it down. Bend the knees deeply. Maybe the forearms come to the back of the calves. And again, one more lift. Think of those shoulder blades coming toward your tailbone. Bend the knees deeply. Sweep the arms out. Inhale up. Hands to heart center. Nice way to start, right? Good way to start our day. Inhale, arms, bend the knees deeply, up and over. Exhale, tiny little back bend up top. Inhale back to center. And then take your palms together and bring them to your heart. Okay, you ready to go? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees deeply. This time, stepping back to a plank position. All right, so here we are. Nice wide fingertips. Hips a little bit higher than you think, probably. Mine always need to be pulled up a little. We're just going to take a moment to just appreciate the work that's happening in the belly. Now, engage your quads. Now everything should really fire. And lift your hips back again to a down dog. Adjust if you need to. Lift that left leg to the sky. Hello. Open hips, but keep your chest facing the mat. So flex that foot up top, really energize so the leg's not just hanging there. But really try to get that chest facing the floor. Exhale, step the hand through if you want some blocks. Right here. I like blocks on this to give you a little more space between your chest and your knee. A nice high lunge, but we're staying low for right now. Now, if you stepped your left foot forward, depending on which leg, your hip's going to want to go to the side. So let's bring those hips together. Think of your hips really coming toward each other, squeezing together. Now come up to your fingertips if you're not there. Then here we go. Inhale up. High lunge. Here we go. Ribs are going to want to really go forward, so bring them in. And then hands come to heart center. Exhale. Palms to the blocks or to the mat. Back foot, here we go. Stepping forward, bending the knees deeply. Inhale, arms up, overhead, and back to heart center. Everybody with me? All right. Inhale, sweep the arms up, out. Yes, exhale, folding forward. This time you might want to scoot your blocks, right? Hands to the mat, step back. This time to down dog. All right, are your triceps nice and firm underneath you? Inhale that right leg and then open the hips. All right, so again, bent leg, flexed foot, but my chest is facing the ground. Think like your chest is shining a light on the mat. Inhale, level the hips, straighten the leg. Exhale, step it through. Again, up to fingertips or your blocks. Finding space between your chest and your thigh. And it might only be an inch. That's okay. You could even go to a higher level, which is wonderful. All right, so again, let's look at that right hip. Bring it in. So hips and thighs moving toward each other, really locking in together. All right, I want you to feel like it's one piece. Okay. Coming up to your fingertips. Inhale, arms come up, high lunge. Okay. If you feel like your hips aren't level, bend that back knee and level them out a little bit, and then you can try straightening. Inhale, hands to palm center. Nice big inhale. Exhale, palms to the mat. So move your blocks out of the way. And you're going to step forward. So really press into that front foot. Folding forward. Just let yourself hang. Inhale, arms out and overhead. This time, exhale. Take your hands behind you and clasp them together, right? Maybe clasp the opposite way you normally do. You see, this wants to happen, right? So try keeping your core pulled in, your chest pulled in. And now switch your grip. Just looking at opening through the shoulders. If you can put the palms of your hands together, and try that. All right, let go, exhale. Let go of the grip. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And this time, exhale, sit back into your chair, right? So this is a hinge at the hips. This is not a lean forward, right? This is pushing right here like your body was a hinge, a door hinge, opening and closing. So the chest is going to come down with it. Can you see your toes? Oh, you can also, if you want, which I didn't say, you can bring your feet a little closer together, have your toes touch your heels, not touching, but your toes touching. You could try that. And the entire time we're doing this, think about trying to lower your hips. Now, if this is a killer on your shoulders in a way that's not comfortable, take your arms wide or take your arms to prayer. Through prayer, push them together. All right, think of that energy shooting out of the top of your head down to the ground behind you. Now, take your right hand out up high, your left hand on your back. You're going to lean the torso forward, nice long back, and then twist to the left. Your low elbow could be on your leg, it could be between your knees, it could be on the opposite knee. Again, doesn't matter. What we don't want is this, right? So keeping those hips level and then twist. Inhale, back up. Exhale, arms down. Turn those palms forward. Lift through the kneecaps, bring that ribs in. Tall Tadasana. This is called mountain pose. And I always think of it as I'm a mountain. And on the outside, I just look effortless, right? I look strong, but effortless. But on the inside, just like in a mountain, all those atoms moving at a crazy speed. Think of all that energy inside you, making this a hard pose, really, something fully energetic. Out, letting that breath out. Inhale. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up and overhead. And again, we're going to sit back in our chair. Toes can be together if you want. So your choice on arms, straight up, wide, in front, or prayer, whatever works for you today. Watch the ribs, bring them in. Now, can you see your toes? And are your knees level in front? Like if you put a ruler in front of your knees, do they both touch? And then take your hand to your low back. Inhale. Left arm straight out, right arm on the low back. Dropping the torso a little. Now twisting just from the ribs. Exhale. Coming down into Revolved Chair. Or I think it's called Parvita Utkatasana. Breathe here. I know it's work. Your next exhale, come back to center. Inhale. Arms big and wide. Let that breath out and forward fold. You can take your feet wider if you had them close together and really fold. All right, let's move those hips. Bend and straighten. Loosen up. A lot of modalities will call this intuitive movement. Basically just means move how you feel you want to move. All right, and come back to a little bit of straighter leg. Plant the hands, step back. Down dog. Inhale, right leg goes to the sky. Exhale, knee comes to the nose as your hips come forward. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee comes forward. One more. Inhale, leg to the sky. Exhale, knee comes forward. We're going to hold there. Exhale back. Good job. Good job this time. Exhale and step forward between your hands. If you want to use blocks for this, I'm going to pivot the back foot. Right, so my front arch, or my front heel bisects my back arch. Cartwheel the arms up and overhead. Warrior two. Right, pulling the hands or the fingertips in opposite directions. Back thigh rolling in, front thigh rolling open. Nice flat hip area, right? Straightening your leg. Inhale. Exhale it down. Inhale. Straighten it up. Exhale. Take it down. Inhale, straighten up. Arms come up. And that right toe turns in. So now you're a little pigeon-toed, right? Arms are high overhead. I'm going to take a couple breaths here while we get ready to fold. So think of the outside of your feet pressing into the mat. Hands are energized, feeling all the good things. right now. Right? So take your hands either to your hips or your low back, whatever you like. Energize through the quads. So this is not a relaxing pose. It looks like it is in parts of the body, but your legs should be working. Right? So the muscles are lowering you down safely. So you can come down to be here with the block. Lower, lower, lower. You could be all the way to the floor. But do what feels right for you today. Now, engage those quads, all right? Are you sitting back? Are your hips moving back or your hips more over your ankles, which is where we want them to be? Well, I should say in line with your ankles, right? Engage those quads. Now let the head and the neck be heavy. So if you are here, just drop your head. Quads, quads, quads. Inhale, look ahead of me real quick. Okay, watch my feet. Bringing those heels in. Okay? Hand on thigh, hand on thigh. Bringing your body up. Goddess pose. This is where your hips are more underneath you. Ribs are coming in. Push those feet. Grab the mat. Right? Feel, I like to actually push my feet sort of away from me because I feel that connection and that power in my legs. Okay, I'm going to inhale up. Exhale. Pivoting the back foot. And move into a warrior two on this side. So again, front heel, biceps back arch, and I'm having to squiggle, right? That's totally fine. Nice straight body again. Fingertips just expanding to the opposite sides of your room, or for me, my fence in the house. Legs rolling open back there, this leg rolling in. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, take it further. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, take it further. Give yourself a nice full breath. And as we let it out, kind of cartwheel those hands over. If you need to grab that block to help, which I do, I like to do, even though I can touch it around, it's nice. I have control. Okay. In our low lunge, exhale, that leg back to down dog. Inhale, left leg high. And as you let it out, knee to nose. Let's do these three, right? Inhaling as the leg goes back and letting it all go as it comes forward. Now this time, hold. Push up out of those shoulders. Core, core, core. And then back to down dog. Well done, everybody. Good job, good job, good job. Now, like me, I like to kind of get things worked out. So I like, I don't know if you can see, because my blanket's here. Raising and lowering my heels, pedaling my feet. Again, a little movement here. So you can work out what you feel in your body. You can dip those hips. And run through your spine. Just take a moment. All right, and we're all going to meet back. As we lift our breath out into all fours right here. Bring those hands to take the knees wide and curl the toes. Sit those hips back for a much deserved child's pose. Take your deep breath in. Let it out and melt. And the next time you fill up your lungs, I want you to push up to your all fours. Take a nice long back here. Right, pushing the fingertips and the shins into the ground. Make this an energetic, really energetic pose, right? Feel it everywhere. Push those shins in. Then uncurl the toes to our plank position. So you can either lower, as we did earlier, one line, go down, or if you'd like to do a chaturanga, come with me. Really, we're going to rocket our body forward halfway, stopping with our elbows over our wrists, uncurl the toes, and up to a dog. So you can either be an up dog or baby cobra, wherever you are. Quads are highly engaged, pushing out of your arms. Curl the toes under, back to down dog, walk to the front of the mat, and up. Exhale. Let's take our legs really wide today. Arms up, palms up to the sky, right? Like you're waiting, you're accepting what's falling into your hands. Let's put it that way. Take a second to think about what you would want that to be. That makes me smile to think about what could be falling in my hands right now. I mean, some days it could be love, some days it could be progress or confidence. Some days it could be a chocolate chip cookie. Knowing what you want, very important. So inhale, arms come a little, you're going to come a little bit to the left. Exhale, left arm to the thigh, right arm overhead for a wide-legged side body stretch. Inhale back up. And let that breath go. Other side. Inhale. Back to center. We're going to go down to a nice Malasana yogi squat. Kind of find where that is with your feet. If this does not work for you because your hips or your knees don't like it, I want you to come right here. Right? So here you're getting a nice stretch on the calves and the bottom of the feet. Here you're getting more of the hip flexor, opening up the inner thighs. Both good. And then as you exhale, we're going to take ourselves down to our seat. And work a nice little side plank, okay? So if you haven't done this before, well, you know what, let's do it. Let's start it from a plank and we'll move to it, okay? So turn yourself over to a nice plank. All right, so you have your hips a little high, hands under your shoulders. All we're gonna do here is spin the hips so that your right hip starts aiming toward the floor, and then your left foot is gonna stack, right? Right arm comes up to the sky. Now, if this is like, nope, because depending on the day, we drop the knee here. And when you get to this position, your shoulder is actually not directly over your wrist. Hopefully you can feel it through your side body. If you want to take the arm over. exhale it back to center, back to plank. And whatever you did on one side, do it on the other. So inhale, shifting the hips down, if you want, or the knee down. Stepping that foot over. Oh, something exciting. Exhaling there. As you inhale, bring the arm up. You might notice which side is easier, harder, right? And you can hear my dog freaking out. Now again, if you want to take the arm overhead. And let go of that breath as you come back to your all fours. We're all going to come into nice Argus. Come here. Sit down on your heels with your feet straight up to really work the bottom of those feet. It's a good position. I love this. Sweep the arms up and over. If you'd like to smile, bring a little joy to your face. If not, no problems. Do what makes you feel good in this pose. Inhale, push up now. So we're coming to knees right here. So you might want your blanket. Let's put our knees on our blanket. And let's get the blocks here, okay? So you have a couple options. We're going to do a Camel Ustrasana, which many people do not like because it can be very challenging and not feel good on your body. So we're going to do some different options, okay? So come up, think about pushing your shins and the tops of your feet toward the floor. We want to keep our hips over our knees. And the idea is, of course, back bending, maybe grabbing the ankle, okay? So I want to show you variations of that. Okay, one variation is staying here, right here. Okay, another variation, blocks on the highest level. Another could be blocks on a slightly lower level. One arm at a time. It's easier for me to do one arm at a time. To be your hips over your knees. Or actually, I like toes curled under, taking the hips. So any one of those. Go ahead and find what works for you. And exhale, sit the hips back to the seat. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Let's start to get ready to cool it down, close out our practice here. I think a nice seated twist would be good for us. Let's do that. All right. So coming into you have one bent leg here, right? And one leg over the top. If this position does not work for you, right here. So those are your options. Hi, Argus. Either way. Circe, come here. Inhale the arms up. Hi. Exhale, twist from the ribs to the side. One hand comes to the back. One hand can be here, or you can grab, hug that knee. Argus. Breathe there. Each time you exhale, if you have a little more twist in you, go ahead and take it. I love my mat. And the next time you breathe out, take your body back to center. All right, uncross. Let's try the other side. So leg crosses here. And again, you can be here. Inhale, arms out. Exhale into your twist. A little playtime over here, yeah. Every exhale again, tall spine on your inhale. Exhale, let's take it in. And then let's come back to center. And one last nice pose before we lay on our backs, all right? Baddha Konasana, butterfly. This can look a lot of different ways, but a really great way is if your hips say, I'm not doing that, take your seat higher, right? Your feet might be here. Your feet might be here. Doesn't matter. Remember, this is your practice, and it is practice. Hey, we're having a peaceful yoga time. Go, I would like you off my mat, please. Thank you. Hey. Okay, so tall spine. Yes, everything's okay. So yeah, it's all okay. Yeah. All right, just breathing here, letting those knees, the legs all fall to the side. And if you'd like to lean forward, keep your back straight, your low back straight. And if you'd like to round through your neck, your upper back a little bit, that's okay, but keep that low back straight. And fill that belly as you come up. And let's move to our back. So laying completely down. If you can see me. Hello, Titi. Both legs flat to the ground. And then bend your right knee so your foot is on the ground. And then take it up to the sky. All right, now here's the challenge. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground while you pull that leg towards you. So flex that foot and flex your leg that's on the ground as well. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground. Now if I pull my shoulders off the ground, I can go all the way up here. Sometimes I do that, but right now we're keeping it down. My leg is shaking today. Inhale, take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Pull your right leg just a couple inches across. So stop there, because we're going to look at that IT band first before we take it wide. So just a couple inches. Plant that right hip on the ground. Get the outside of that thigh nice and relaxed. And now, breathe out the next time. Take that leg across. And your right arm comes out to a T shape, out to the side. Press into the ground. We're going to keep our shoulder on the ground, the right shoulder. Remember, the goal here isn't how far can I get my leg over. It's letting gravity take you, and you're relaxing into it. And inhale, bring it back to center. Take hold of it with your right hand. And now exhale it out to the side. And inhale back to center. Exhale to the ground. Same thing. bend that left knee, foot on the ground. And your next inhale, you just take it, push it to the sky, and hold it with your hands, keeping your shoulders on the ground. Now think like you are like pushing the sky away, right? So you're really flexing that foot. My leg is shaking. Shoulders on the ground. Argus? Oh, here we go. And now this time, take your left hand to the inside. Oh, no, wait, wrong one. Right hand to the outside. Take your leg across you. I'm sorry. I forgot one, right? Just a couple inches. Arm in a G shape. You can look over your left hand. So just a couple inches, keeping that hip down, just feeling the IT stretch. Now let's take it. Again, keeping the left shoulder on the ground, letting gravity take you. Inhale, back to center. This time switch arms, left hand, the inside of the calf or the thigh, whatever works for you. And exhale that leg out to the side. Inhale, bring forward, up high, back to center. Exhale, let it go all the way to the ground. Now take a moment to adjust yourself for Shavasana, and hopefully we won't have too much barking, all right? So calm body. I want you to feel your body sinking into your mat as if you were growing roots, melting in. Letting go as if you were a pool of water. If your thoughts start taking over, just follow that breath down to your tiptoes and exhaling that energy from the bottom all the way up to the crown of your head and out it goes. Argus? Argus. Well, that's our signal to start moving. Our fingers and toes, right? Feeling your breath right inside your heart. When you're ready, roll onto your left side. Stop, Argus, please, stop. Behind a pillow with your left arm. Push yourself up to a seated position. Argus, come here, babe. Come here. Come on. Find a nice seated position, grounding your sit bones. Again, tall, tall spine. Bring your hands to heart center. And just like Argus here, calming down. Take a moment to appreciate you've done something beautiful for your body today. Maybe have a big smile for the rest of your day. But thank you for joining me. Have a great day.